There's one incident that happened a while back that when I think of to this day, it amuses me. What amuses me is my naiveness as at that time, how naive I was, but you can't blame me. If you leave the game for a while, the game might leave you. Like, if you leave something for a while, it might leave you. So, this happened, yes, a year plus ago, right? So, I was quite off my purpose for a while. I'll put it that way. I was quite off my purpose for a while. I wasn't making art, though I was using my creativity. I was using my talents in other places, but I wasn't making conventional art. Like I hadn't drawn a portrait in a while. I hadn't painted anything in a while. Right, but it was the period where it was not like, dude, I'm gonna give my purpose more time than I give every other thing in my life. And mind you, for context, I got my first realistic portrait on, I think, the sixth try. I mean, in my life, in my whole general life. I'm not capping, to be honest. I got my I got my first realistic portrait on the sixth try. That was how easy it was. This when I mean the sixth try, I'm talking about the sixth intent. I intentionally want to do a realistic portrait, right? I got it on the sixth try. So she understand that it came easy and I got it without any form of knowledge. It was talent. So I had left my my talents for a while. I left my purpose for a while. I was caught up in the rat race kind. I thought it was a portrait, but this time it was like a painting. And even if it was a painting. So you know, there's this thing that happens. There's this, sometimes you see some artists, like if you're online, you see some artists work and they work so fast, like boom, boom, power, like they're there, right? That was the idea I had in my head. That's how I thought it was gonna be, right? I was like, yeah, I'm back at this thing, man. His face is my skin, like it's natural, so it's going to come out. It's going to come easy, right? So I went without any sort of planning. It's not like I didn't know I was supposed to plan my way through the whole process, but I felt it was part of me. There's no need to plan and all that. Of course, there's no need to plan. It comes to this, it has to flow. It had to flow, and I went into attempting that portrait with the idea that it's going to flow, and also I was quite overwhelmed. I had the final image in my head, the style I wanted, and I had, yes, my reference image with me. And even though I had the reference image, I was quite overwhelmed. It's been a while I did this. I was quite overwhelmed. I think I was more worried about the final process than my next stroke. For those who do stuff, create things, you understand what I'm trying to say, and I will explain this further in this video. So I was more worried about the final process, how wow it's gonna look, more than the next step I was supposed to take. So I was concerned about the whole process and the outcome, how it's going to be, and all that. So preparation wasn't there. I was overwhelmed. Quite alright. I felt my talent was still there. Long story short, I attempted portrait and it didn't come out as planned. The stuff didn't come out as planned. I was that day I fell into, I will not call that a depression, but I know my mood became sour for the rest of the day, even days after. Right? But that wasn't where I stopped though. But I didn't stop after that. I kept trying because I had no option, right? This was my purpose, so I had to do that. I kept trying. I had no option. I kept trying. Fast forward to today, to be honest, I can tell you that I feel I can paint or draw anything that I put my mind to do. These days, what I bother about is just my next step and making sure that I do not deviate from my entire team or my overall message. Right? So those two things are the things I focus on. I focus on my next step. So if I'm going to put a stroke that has a yellow color, that's my only focus. Every other thing after that, I do not know. I do not care. Sorry, I know. I do not care about it too much. I do not let it to, I do not let it to cloud my mind too much. I just worry about the next stroke and the stroke after that, the paint I'm gonna mix, and the paint after that. And I just take it one step at a time, one step at a time. And I can tell you today, I can make anything. And I repeat, it might sound like crap, right? But I can create anything as long as I put my mind to it. As long as I'm ready to create something, I can create it. So, what's the difference between that person that feel that something that came naturally to him and this person who can even do things that he didn't know he could do before? It's just a tad bit of it's small, it's just a little different. That I know right now that there has to be proper planning, and after the planning I leave every other thing and focus on just my next step. So I think with this tool I am making my best fucking art, and I will make my best fucking art. I will make a lot of beautiful things in this world until my demise. I'm going to drop it here, but one thing I want to take away from here is that you can make your best fucking art. Just focus on the next steps that you're supposed to take. Peace, and I would love to see you guys, in the next video, of course.